And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault. And that's Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Just a few moments ago, this building was shaking as the Carolina Panthers emerged from the tunnel here in Charlotte. They are ready to go as the Panthers are set to match up with the Cincinnati Bengals. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. On second down, here's Mixon. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. K1 short. In there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. Christian McCaffrey deep for Carolina. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And taken right on the 30. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the Panthers will take over now 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Newton on 1st down. That's Samuel, caught left side. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Nick Vigil. In from his linebacker's spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. 3rd and long. It's Newton. And he's got his target. That's more. And he's taken down inside the 30. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down. On 1st and 10, Newton. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
He's got it for a Panther touchdown. DJ Moore, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead. And the QB rating right now is sky high. 4 for 4 on that opening drive, and it ends with a touchdown pass.
Yeah, I don't know quite how to figure it out. I think I need my friends from MIT to come in and help me. I think 158.3 is the number one.
Yep, that's
right. That's the highest you can get. That's where he is. He'd like to continue on that pace.
The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. Last week we saw a rarity. He was over 200 yards on the ground, and they lost. So we'll see if they can get more carries like that and win this week.
And that was interesting watching the game tape, wasn't it? Because it was hard to register while we watched him pile up that yardage and create those nice runs that they didn't win the football game. But that doesn't mean changing what you do. Continue to feed him the football.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to Mixon on first down. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
And the pitch goes to Mixon. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to have a 3rd down. Dalton here from the gun. Dumps it off to Mixon. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain?
On the ball! On the ball!
Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
On the ball! On the ball!
Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Carolina getting set to take the field. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in this 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second and a foot or so. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Now a first down throw for Newton. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. Newton will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Newton now to throw. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. DJ Moore with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Panthers add on to their lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. So a designed run last play. Now Dalton to pass. And incomplete here on 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
A 4th down gamble with Dalton. Sliding out of the pocket. On the run. He'll throw it across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They'll run with McCaffrey. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 10 more there and another first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
On second down, McCaffrey. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage.
And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers add on to their lead. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive, and how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
We got 3 down. Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go.
Well, they had to run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. A handoff to Mixon. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
That's it, baby.
The Bengals on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 2. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's a give to Mixon. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now Joe Mixon. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Mario Addison. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on 4th down. There. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
He'll get it up the middle. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Scarborough. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And Gano's kick is right through. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
The Bengals getting set to go. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Now a handoff here to his running back. A spin. It's a foot race. He's at the 30, 10, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there as the first half is winding down, and the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. So now Dalton will lead the Bengals to the line as they'll come up and go for 2. Throwing, Dalton. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And it looks like the Panthers' hands team does its job. And they're going to start this next drive in excellent shape. Right at the 50. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
That good for 19 and a first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Go.
Back to the ground on 1st. It's McCaffrey. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. And Gano's kick is right through. So it's halftime here in Charlotte with the Panthers out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now Newton on first down. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Now whistles here, and it looks like we've got a Panther that's having some difficulty down there getting up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, Newton. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
Nice connection here with Ian Thomas, a rookie out of Indiana. And he's one of those guys that I truly believe his best football is ahead of him. Always has been a consistent blocker. His receiving gets better and better. I thought in 2017 with IU, he was terrific. And now, I think he gives a great addition to the Carolina Panthers passing game.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell them, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
Let's rock now.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. Past the 20. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead. And they're able to up the lead by 1 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Once again, they run with Mixon. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A great play there. 78 yards. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer. So now Dalton will lead the Bengals to the line as they'll come up and go for 2. Operating from the gun. Dalton flushed out right. And he will not get away. He's sacked back around the 3-yard line. Tried to roll out, make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it done.
When you don't have a lot of space for your receivers to operate, and down there it's really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line, rolling out, you extend the play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that play, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and you end up getting sacked.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
So after the loss of 2, here's 2nd and 12 from the 23.
Check it backer, check it backer. Let's rock now.
On second down, here's Newton. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I don't think what we just saw there was any surprise, because when Christian McCaffrey came out of Stanford, we knew he was a threat running it and catching it. And any way you can get the ball in his hands, he wanted to do so. Personally, I thought he ran the best routes of anyone coming out of his draft class, and that included the wide receivers.
Last year, 80 receptions, also in the return game. He's a bit of a Swiss Army knife, isn't he?
He certainly is. Every which way you want to go, however you want to package him, I do think his running production will increase in 2018.
A really good pickup of 28 yards. Newton now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. The shotgun snap for Newton. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A good pickup there at 22.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. Here's Newton. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Panthers add on to their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough, because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now this time he'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Erickson. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down. And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. They run for it with Mixon. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. McCaffrey on the counter. And an alley to run. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be, but we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
But it was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And Gano's kick is right through. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Dalton sets up play action. They'll roll him out right. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point, and that's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His first carry of the game. I guess he picked a good time to do it.
He certainly did. Not only did he have the element of surprise, he's making sure he's judicious in taking off.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, lead! Green 18! Hey, 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 hey!
It's Mixon on the counter. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Watch tight end.
And now to the air. Dalton escaping the pressure right. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati first down. And we're back now in Charlotte. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Running left, it's Mixon. And he's got this down to the 35. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Right back to him on first down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Now Dalton. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He'll buy some time right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ross Cockrell. On 4th down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down. Where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
3rd down. Here's McCaffrey. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
pitching it out to McCaffrey. And some room to maneuver. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 more on that one and another first down. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in a zone. This is McCaffrey on the give. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. The Panthers on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Back to throw, Newton. He's going to float this one deep right side. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10 at the 45. The drive will commence with a run by Mixon. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The linebacker, Preston Brown, brings him down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now a run with McCaffrey. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
20.
Newton. He'll rifle this one deep right. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Jesse Bates, the rookie safety, his first pick in the league. And he will bring this all the way fourth quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That was a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. They begin with a run by Mixon. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last two drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Dalton throwing on second down. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off at the 36. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
Newton's going to throw it. And this is going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Preston Brown, there to knock that one away. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
23 yards on the play.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. As the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's second and goal.
Let's do some. 20.
Here's Newton. And the pressure gets to him again. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout. As the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing third and long.
Great. Alert flare. Set. What do you need? Hey. Hey. What is it?
Now Newton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's second and a yard from the 34. On second down, here's Mixon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Dontari Poe in on the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Bengals on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That could give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward, and it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off, but in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew.